Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so we're back here in Gatekeeper's Grove for part 2 of the Slave Lords. So, um, quick bit, you can't do part 2 until you've completed part 1. Uh, Equally as such, once we get on to part 3, as you see, we don't even have that option here to select it, and we won't have that until we complete part 2. Alright, so let's jump into it. Now, like the first one, it has a whole lot of optional chests to go through, which we will be going to them. That way we can get some crafting materials in order to hopefully be able to craft and upgrade some items there. Alright, here. So, first thing, as soon as we get in, we want to go and talk to our little slave
Your
sitting
search
at
for
the
the
start.
slave lords has led to a large fortress complex deep in the wilderness. The clatter and clang of armor can be heard from down the hallway.
From here, as you can see, only one way to go.
The clamor of creatures preparing for battle can be heard
And
from the
as
next
soon
room.
as you open the door, it spawns them in. So they don't actually spawn in. They're not spawned in until you open the door. In which case, that's when they would spawn. So, kind of benefit of that is if there are going to be Reapers, they won't just rush out at you. Though that is kind of helpful. But at the same time, you don't want to start the quest and have a Reaper kill you before you actually even open up your first door. Alright, so from here, next door, just gonna get a quick top up since we're right next to our hireling. And from here, we just want to hop down. Now you want to head all the way to the bottom. And at the bottom we have another door heading to the north. Now on the other side of this door, it is a fairly large room. And it does have, again, a large amount of hobgoblins, some of which we can actually see already through the door. So just be prepared for a fight.
As a point, where the slavers meet before going out on raids.
And of course the hobgoblin overseers are healers. So generally speaking, I tend to like to target them first. Get them out of the way. No healing. Tend to die faster. Alright, so here we have a door to our left. This door is purely cosmetic and doesn't do anything. And then we have off to the east here, a few more enemies, as well as another overseer. Just need to eliminate them. Once we do take the rest of these guys out, we will be able to go through that door there.
Hobgoblins can be heard rushing to take positions on the platforms above.
And continue. Now this section, there's actually a lot of enemies. And they come in kind of groups of 2 on each of the platforms. So it can be annoying, especially if you're not a ranged character, as they get a nice spot and there's really nowhere to run. The jumping tactic doesn't overly work here, as even if you're jumping, they don't gotta change their aim enough where it's actually missing you. And then you just kind of work your way up. There are ways to do this. If you have like a blast type damage, you can attack the floors. As you can see, we are doing a little bits of damage, but again, it is little bits, and it does take a while to, fully dish out 400 points of damage in this case here. So I mean, it's doable, but not ideal. But it also makes it so that you're completely void all damage, so kind of got to do a cost-benefit analysis, whether you want to take damage or just, easy mode that. Alright, once you're at the top, head on through the door. And as you see, immediate left through the door, another group of enemies. So it kind of, there's a lot of little ambushes like this. So you just really got to be on your guard going through doors in this quest. As, yeah, you go through a door, there's probably an ambush on the other side. Alright, so as you see, we do need to proceed north. However, at the time, our rune isn't lit up, so the only way to go is to the south. Now, as soon as we open up this door, we have a trap. Let's grab those breakables. Alright, and on the other side of this door, we should have another ambush. Oh, nope, or not. So yeah, here is the lever that we need to pull. But as you can see, we can keep heading south.
This part of the complex doesn't seem to have been used for quite some time.
We do have an option to go up here. As well, there's other reasons here, which you'll see in a second once we get up here. You don't need to worry about enemies. There are none up here. But we do have an optional. Now,
Lady Morwen asks you to find and help slaves.
Yeah,
who
she
have
just
escaped
asks you
during
to
the chaos.
grab a couple slaves. Nothing super special, nothing crazy, but hey, an optional leading to an optional. Unfortunately, though, as you see, 0 XP for those ones. But, I mean, they are super simple, so, I mean, can't complain too much. Alright, from here, now we can head north. Now, as you see, we're in a tunnel. And, yeah. I hate tunnels. There's always makes me think, there's a trap. Well, it's not a tunnel per se, it's a hallway, but it's a long, unopposing hallway, or unassuming hallway. Not unopposing. I am unopposed. Yeah, there's no eco here at all. Alright, so through here, I do want to point out, you do see these shrines. Now this was the unfortunate bit of multi-layer, like multi-level quests, is the shrines themselves are not actually located here, but on a different, like, floor. So these ones, in this case, aren't too far off, as they're just simply at the bottom here, and just right around the corner. So they are right here, but, you know, other quests, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, aren't exactly like this. Alright, so again, as soon as we open up the door, fairly large courtroom, or courtyard, and again, a bunch of enemies to fight. So once that first wave, we got a second wave just inside. Unfortunately, these ones here. Thought I heard someone attacking. Fortunately, these ones here, we can't actually. Unfortunately, we can't actually shoot them until we approach. So I'm just gonna drop a turret.
To a small inner courtyard, a working fountain in good repair.
As well as you see, we also have an orange named enemy in here as well. Now we do need to kill him. He isn't an optional. Couple of rems. Once he dies, it does open up so we can proceed further in. she goes. As well as it also has our first little random loot chest. So we got some chain links and then the 5 rings. So yeah, these are kind of how they start off looking originally. Just kind of has all their effects. And you kind of get to pick what goes where. Because I already have, I am going to leave it in the chest. Alright, and continue on.
The inner keep houses the remainder of the troops and serves to protect the entrance to the dungeon below.
Alright, so once through this door, as you see to the south, closed to the north, it is open for us to keep going. But, like so many encounters before, immediate horde of enemies. Ouch. Getting some more spots of lag. It's not too bad. It's a little annoying for obviously recording these videos, but I mean, play-wise, it's just a small intermittent one, so it's nothing to write home about just yet. Alright, so at this point we do have 2 directions that we can go. We can either head left. Actually, we don't have any directions we can go. We need to go north here. I missed seeing the rune crystal, so we do need to head off to our left, heading west. Through a couple more enemies. Now the turret at this point, it, as I'm sure you've noticed, dies super fast. However, it still has its uses. Like, you completely blocked off that doorway. Nothing getting in. And that's just super handy. You'll never get rid of that handiness. Alright, so in one of these rooms, it's always the same room, hint hint, there is a lever. As well, there are collectibles in here, so I'm just going to go pull the lever, because I don't think any of the other ones have collectibles. So yeah, collectible just in this one at the bookshelf. The lever itself is behind these crates at the back of this room.
Pulling the lever unlocks a door nearby.
Here we go. So, another long haul, another turn, another 2 rune crystals. So heading north. Alright, so this one here, I love this part. So I'm going to spoil it a little bit if you haven't gone. First off, this floor is a breakable floor. As you approach that door, both the door and the floor are going to break. Now, out of the door, it runs a stuffed bear. It's basically on a mechanical track, and it's kind of a trick. Like, it's like, oh crap, a trap. If you actually are running towards and you jump before everything breaks, you can usually make it in and past the bear before the floor breaks. So we're gonna give that a try. If I happen to fall, there are some levers that you could pull to, turn off the traps down there as well as get through. Honestly, it's kind of cued so that you do run through and fall, so it is fairly easily survivable. But I want to see if I can show you the trick to kind of skip that. So there we are, jump, and just run at it. So there's our
and mounted on a trap.
bear, and I love that.
Frighten and confuse intruders.
Unfortunately, that doesn't stop. So in here we do have 2 levers. So we're gonna pull this one here,
Pull the lever. There's a soft pop
And then this one
And an
here.
enchanted crystal lights up.
So the one crystal, that's one of ones we need for the door. The other one is actually located down here. That second lever actually turns this here from an acid floor to water. At the bottom here, we do have our second lever.
The second lever is pulled. A rush
And
of
our
air
door
can
now
be felt as
opens.
the doors down the
Now,
hallway
if you
open.
came in here and you didn't quite make it up, and you landed on the platforms here, don't worry. We have a lever right up top here at the top of the platform, which drops a ladder down. And that's how you're supposed to get up. And then this ladder here, it's always here, so you can backpedal if you're not too sure what you're doing. So yeah, lever at the bottom there, and one of the levers in there will open up the door. You have a lever at the top of the little rampart, which will drop a ladder, and then a second lever in there, which converts the floor from an acid to water. So it is recommended to grab that one at the bottom there last, after, you know, making it water, not acid. Alright. And here we go again. Now, what is unique about this one here, we didn't actually get the dialogue, but in the corner, there's actually a mirror. Now, what that mirror is used for is it actually makes it look like there's more hobgoblins there than there actually is. And they do, like, if you do have everything turned on, it really does look like a lot more hobgoblins, like a nice large amount. Oh, it's not this corner. Okay, never mind.
This mirror is used to make trespassers
Yeah,
believe
so it is
there are more defenders than there really
mirror.
are.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's a mirror right in the corner here. As you can see, I can't actually proceed to the corner. I guess it was broken. If you have your settings turned to a specific setting, I'm not exactly sure what the, it might be just surface reflections there under your UI settings. Gameplay, advanced graphics. Alright, surface reflections. So it's definitely not surface reflections. I have mine all the way up. But there is a setting which will turn on and off. Post effects, maybe? Yeah, so it's post effects there. So as you can see, there's that little mirror. And it makes it look like there's two groups of enemies and a lot larger force than there is. So it, yeah, it's kind of a little trick here. And kind of a cool one here. So I'm just going to turn off those post effects again. As it does, some of the effects are cool, some of them not so much. And right at the end here, before we go through that door, we have another lever with a crystal.
The lever is pulled, and a crystal lights up nearby.
So through the door, it does give us an option on which path we want to take. Now, I am actually going to head south first. This path does have a few traps. So definitely want to get them. Actually, I think I gotta go the other way first. Alright, so we're gonna go through this door here first. And this one is actually completely skippable. Just some guys to kill. And I think this might be one of the spawn locations for a slave. But I'm not 100% sure on that one. That actually hurts. So no slave, but we did get some breakables, so not 100% loss. Alright. So continuing down the path here. It's really making me think this isn't the hall I'm thinking of. So we go. More traps. And then yet again, another door. Alright, so yeah, this was the path. So once you go through them, as you see, there are two groups of enemies. And this one here, once you hop around the corner, we have two chests. Now, when this content originally came out, one of these chests, this one specifically, it was locked. However, you couldn't actually pick the lock, so there was no way to unlock that chest, and it was just really annoying. You couldn't pick the chest, there was no key. Though they're just random loot chests, it did kind of suck, but they have since obviously gone back and fixed that. So you can now just pick the lock and get two loot chests. Alright, so from here we want to head all the way back. To that split. Quick top up. Alright, here. So from here, obviously we want to continue heading east. Actually, let's just quickly check. Yeah, it was just the one I needed. Alright, so right as soon as you get going, there is a door. Through the door, nothing special. They do have one group of enemies and a shrine, so if you do need a shrine, I mean, I guess it is something special. But if you don't need a shrine, like it's just a group of enemies to fight. If you're not interested in either, obviously this room is skippable. At least I'm pretty sure. Now I'm thinking there's a lever in here. Yeah, okay. Not skippable. You do need to come in here, grab your lever.
The sound of a gate grinding open can be heard in the distance.
And it's been a long time since I've been slave lords.
Frenzied shouts that grow closer with every second.
Alright. So yeah, here we go. So there's our two levers. Obviously, if you would have not gone through there and come to the door, you would have noticed. But yeah, you do need to head into the shrine room. Don't listen to me about the not going in. Once you get to the door, you can see a bunch of enemies in here already. Some of which you can attack. I definitely recommend killing off the ones you can first. They also have some enemies up top here, which, as you can see, we can't actually hit just yet. Once we enter this room, they will become active. As well, at the very, very back of the room there, there's also going to spawn in an orange named enemy, which does want us dead, and will attempt to kill us. If we come in either left or right, we can actually hop up top here.
Can be seen on the far end of the room.
And up top, well, you're safe from his melee. And you can just kind of come in and shoot these guys. Now he does have a ranged attack. As you can see, super slow, super unimposing. but if he actually heads down the same side that you're on, so he actually went to the opposite one, his ranged attack becomes pointless and he can't actually hit you with it. So we're gonna hop over to the other side and climb up that ladder over there. So here we are. So if we go far enough back, as you see, his attack is hitting the floor there as well. We have full range to hit him.
A key marked
As
control
soon as he
cell
dies,
drops
it
from
does
the jailer's
auto drop a
pocket.
key, so you don't actually have to pick up anything. And we have some enemies down here. Just go ahead and kill if you want. I always do, just to get rid of them. And then we have 2 chests again, so I'm going to grab these first. So the one on the right, rando loot. Despite this looking like a boss fight, we're not quite there yet. And again, on the left, it has more of that crafting materials for us. So through the door.
Inside the cage are several levers. It seems
4
likely that
levers.
they control the
Just
doors to the slave
pull
cells.
them all.
The door
One
barring
will,
your exit swings
the one on this
open
far
as the
left
lever
wall,
is pulled.
as you see, opens the door to continue. The other 3 open up the cells. So this one opens up the ones on this floor, the one just below, and finally at the very, very bottom.
The third lever is pulled, and the remaining
Once
slaves
all of them are
flee the
done,
fort.
that's that. Like, there's nothing in there. I've looked in all the cells. There's not even any reason to go down there unless you fall. Alright. So from here, heading on in, we have another dilemma. So we're going to start actually by heading left just to check the room. Again, sometimes there is slaves in here. We got nothing. So now we got 2 paths. Well, the path heading straight or south does have collectibles, but nothing else. Again, sometimes slave. From here, only one way left to go, which was west. West has 2 paths, one north, leading into a door. Some enemies, and again, possible slave in here. I saw that Famine Reaper in the corner. Now I hear the Famine Reaper. Alright, so no slaves, no nothing. So we'll head south. I hate these tunnels. So many traps. At least this one they're counting and it's not taking that bonus away from us. Alright. So these traps, I do want to point out, once they are activated, they will constantly go off. So I'm actually going to set this one off here. And the reason for setting it off... Oh, yeah, these ones are constant. Never mind. So, yeah. They do go off every time you step into the line of fire, which will hit enemies if you know, they happen to be there. So there is that going for you. But again, you got to be right in that line of fire. So if you're playing as a rogue or, you know, high evasive character with the actual evasion feat, you know, you won't take any damage. Yeah, you might as well just play in the fire trap. It'll damage them, and you know, unless you roll a 1, you're safe. But again, that is a high evasive character, as these traps are a little annoying even at level here. Alright. So again, first group. There's a second group, but this one allows us a little bit more range, so should be able to take up most of them before they get here. So in here, in this section where it's all these little doors, there are 2 rooms we need to go into. And it's actually these 2 right here, each of which has a lever to pull. So we can't actually target. Oh, we can. So that one's in here. And this one's in here. They also have their own groups of enemies. So this one's going to have some ogres. Alright, so they're down. We're going to go pull the lever.
This crudely decorated room houses a large and powerful ogre. The lever is mounted to the right side of the door.
And then we got another one here. Now, unfortunately, that our little turret trick isn't going to work as well here, as these ones aren't as large as an ogre, as well as, you know, one they can run past. But they also have ranged attackers in this one, so those ones will obviously just keep their distance and be able to take out that turret there, no problem.
These are the officers' quarters for
Once
the
they're
orcs
down,
who
we can
guard
pull our
this area.
second lever.
A lever with an unlit this a loud click, and 2 doors swing open. The sound of chatter can
I'm
be
just going
heard
to do a
from
quick
deeper
check in
within
here
the
for
fortress.
the slaves. Again, they're not usually in here, but it doesn't hurt to just do a quick once over. The other rooms, oh yeah, here we go. There's a slave. As you can see, we only need 3 in this one, so super simple, but still, again, they're not usually in there, but hey, doesn't hurt to look. The only 2 rooms that have enemies are the ones with the levers, so if you open the door and there's enemies, there's going to be a lever in there. Just need to look a little bit. I will say I kind of like the changes that they've made with insightful or improved archers focus and archers focus. Improved archers focus, they kind of actually debuffed it a little bit, which does suck. I agree with their nerf that they've done, as though it might have been a little too much. The fact that it does allow you to shoot multiple enemies, so if they're in a line like they were, you would have hit every single one of them. Well, most enemies, when they're pathing to fight you, end up in a single file line. So if there's 10 enemies, you're hitting 10 enemies. Real nice, real handy, but they kind of gotten rid of that. Alright, so for this part here, so they kind of got, before I get off topic again, so they kind of got rid of that. However, with Archer's Focus, they kind of really buffed that. So yeah, you're still shooting through the enemies, but they're not damaging other than the target you're intending to hit. Before, it used to take some time to actually obtain that 15 stacks. Most times in a boss battle, I would maybe get 2, 3 stacks. They would go on. Basically, you get 1 per volley, is what you would get before. Plus, you would have to stand still for about 30 seconds to even activate it. Well, now each bolt counts, so with it already firing 3 shots per, it takes no time to hit that 15 stacks, which really does. Oh man, forgot I was still on the feet section. Which really does ramp up that ranged attack power. Like, I'm sitting at what, 80 at 11 stacks. Alright, so in here, more enemies. There is a slight trick. This is useful. Like, I've used this myself a lot when fighting on the legendary version. Heroic, it's not so needed, but you can actually come in here and hop up on top of this barrel. they can't get you up here, or rather, they have problems getting you up here. And yeah, you can just kind of drag them out. Like I said, not so. It's really not so dangerous here on heroic. You know, he is doing a little bit of damage, but if we hop up here, grab that edge. Of course, now it's not letting me grab it. There we go. He just kind of sits there. Doesn't really know what to do. And we can just kill him while he's trying to get to us. So I'm going to turn that on. Set the heal.
As Icard falls, the door opens to reveal a passageway leading deeper into the fortress.
Then yet again, not the end. So we got another rando chest. And then another chest for, so this one, it's a lot easier to get these items. They're, if you watch the first video, like, they're way off out of the way. The second one, almost every chest that has them is on your direct path. No side paths, no nothing like that. Alright, so here,
at the room
open the
reveals
door,
a passageway leading down to the dungeon
and
below.
we got our next floor.
No doubt Marquesa and the rest of her conspirators
hopping
can
through.
be found below.
Once it lets us. And here we go. So right at the bottom,
This hallway
shrines.
serves as the entrance to the fortress's dungeon.
Now we do
Marquesa
have
must
some
be somewhere
kobolds.
inside.
Don't get these confused with your waterwork kobolds. These ones actually have put up a little bit of a fight. Though their attacks are basically the same. Alright, so directly next to the red shrine, we do have a hidden door. Through it, more kobolds. They also have some collectibles in there. And a possibility that a slave can be in there as well. So, I mean, hey, doesn't hurt to check, right? And I mean, they are just kobolds. Alright, so inside here, we got our collectibles. Unfortunately, no slave. Alright. So let's keep heading west. And again, long haul, unassuming, and of course it's trapped because, you know, gamer sense. Now, this room here, the roof is like a giant magnet. So if we were wearing full plate and stuff like that, it actually is going to pull us up and kind of reverse the gravity.
An invisible
Which you
force
will
pulls
mention
the metallic
here.
objects you're wearing upwards towards the ceiling. Removing large metal objects might spare you from the
So
effect.
by large metal, they do mean, if I can find it, full plate. So I'm going to quickly toss that on. Show you guys. There we go. And hidden floor. So that's not actually a roof. And as you see at the top, spike trap. So one of these control panels,
The force pulling you towards the ceiling suddenly stops.
that one removes the force. This one here is going to remove the spikes at the top. So it's get them both. Grab your spikes and your thing. I'm just going to put my armor back on because I want my armor. But yeah, so just pay attention. In this little room here, it kind of sucks having full plate. If not, you need to try and kind of hug the edge, pull the levers as fast as you can, and head on through. So heading through to our right or west, we have a door with more kobolds. Though there really isn't anything spectacular in here. Again, a few breakables, possible slave, and a collectible. Alright, so here we are, control panel. And yeah, this path is super trapped. And at the very end, when you think it's all done,
The room is filled with spiderwebs.
you got more
A soft
enemies.
sound of breathing can be heard from a nearby room.
Alright, so now that they're eliminated, to the right where they were mentioning, we actually have cobwebs, which we can use.
Form sobs in
Break
the
the
back corner of
cobwebs.
the room.
Head on past, and we have a ghost. Talk to them. I'm not really sure what she does, but she walks her way through, and it heads that way. She doesn't pull any levers. She doesn't do anything like that. She doesn't even like stop a group of enemies from spawning. Like I really don't know specifically what she's doing. She's just leaving. All right. So through here, we are gonna have another fight. It's either this door or the next door. Next door. All right. Here we are. Okay. Next door. Yeah. Alright. And there they are. Knew it was one of them. But yeah, they just have a whole lot of doors. As you can see, Ghostly Gal, she never actually passed us. And nothing really happened. Like, oh, didn't even see him. I was like, something's hitting it, but I'm not seeing him. Anyway, come on through. Lever next to the door opens the door. No hidden doors in here. Despite, if you look at the map, looks like it carries on even off to the south here. There's nothing on this side. But again, we want to pull that lever. Head on through the door. Directly right. Nice group of enemies. And we also have one additional lever to pull inside of that room. The one we just went in. So not this one, it's the one that we just went through the door here. Alright, so just through the door here. Okay. We've got a couple of doors. The lever is always in the same one. We also have some collectibles, which are not in this one either. So the collectible is through our open door. We got some breakables. And our lever should be through this one here. Yep. Granted, it's also the last one. Pull the lever. Awesome. Keep heading down to the south. Here. So let's kick their butts. Now, I do want to point out we are getting towards the end here. It's still a little bit to go, but we're getting there, guys, so just hang on. Alright, so through here, we have some more enemies. Now, we also have, as you can see, an enraged caveling. So, that one's just a flesh golem. But, of course, we do gotta take him out. Unfortunately for us, he is a champion. They already kind of have a high resistance, but, I mean, they're a little slow, so it's not too bad. Alright, so that one's down, that one's down. It's down. Ooh, we dropped a rum chest. Awesome.
A burst of moist air enfolds
So
you as the door
once
opens. This hallway
everyone is killed,
It leads deeper into the subterranean
It
complex.
opens up so that, as you can see, we can progress further. Ooh, 73. Very nice.
Various grim-looking devices are scattered throughout this torture chamber.
I love the guys that are slowly moving on the floor there. Yeah. Proceed through. Nothing in the room. So normally it brings up that dialogue when you open the door and enter the room. Obviously, we didn't open the door and enter the room. The door was already open. We stayed at the end of the hall and we shot him from there. Alright, so we're going to proceed. I am going to stop and grab a quick shrine. This next room, I actually really like the look of this cavern. It opens up and it's kind of got a nice little, almost like a geode feeling. Though not as sparkly. There is a crystal, but again, not as sparkly as geode. But there is a little bit of water at the bottom. So here we go. Just got a few guys to kill first. At least I'm 90% sure this is the quest I'm thinking of. My brain just has not been on point yet today. Alright, so there we go. So we're heading down. And at the very bottom, lever to open our door. Yeah, so this is the one. So
the glint of two different gems can be seen down on the
this
cabin
is not
floor.
the one. Okay, so but similar. It's got some nice light up gems, which are really nicely lighting up the area. You have some enemies at the top and the bottom. Now, generally speaking, I take out the guys at the top first. They have the easiest time hitting you. Well, if you enter the room any further, rather, because their attacks don't go that far. As well, at the bottom, as you see, you know, now that we just like immediately jump to orange alert, there are a whole lot of enemies down there, including some reapers. So just be careful. As again, you know, insta orange alert. Just a pile up of enemies there and there. They are great oozes, so they unfortunately are immune to my fireball, which hopefully I can target, yeah. But the kobolds are not, so I can take out the grey ooze while using the rune arm to actually attack them. Kinda slowly whittle down one enemy while I'm killing the other. And there is a reason for doing this. We actually do need to head down there. There is a lever at the bottom right there, which we do need to pull. Alright, so airboat down. Let's swap rune arms. And again, lots of ooze. So if you're melee, make sure you're not hitting them. One thing you could do, if one person gets the aggro of everybody, you can just have the other, you know, party member or whatever hop down. Ooh, there's a bunch more over there. And pull, like, the levers. So there's one lever all the way down there, and one lever over to the northern section, both of which need to be pulled. So I'm just going to run past them. So This is where that jump technique, as we're running, as you see, we're not really going anywhere. Our jump allows us to get that momentum in.
With the door unsealed,
So there they are.
you may continue into the caverns below.
Now, getting up, there are two ways you can get up. First of which is this path here, which does involve a little bit of jumping. And then, yeah, kind of a lot of jumping, as you do need a decent jump to get up to this part. But it does offer some safety. A little bit more jumping to get up there. However, there is a path, which is a ladder, just slightly to the north here. I'll take that champion. Free chance at Rems. And there is a ladder. Apparently somebody's still up top, which I missed. Alright. So from here you want to go up and around through. If you have the jump, of course, you can just jump across there and speed it up. And you want to get to the door up top, heading east. Only door up top other than the one you came in on. Now from here, head down a little bit further. So they're toast. Alright, so here we go. Now, kind of big and unassuming, if you look up top, we do have kind of an open cavern. What's going to happen here is it's going to drop a boulder, and it's going to start chasing us all Indiana Jones style. As well, directly north here, we do have another door. And if I remember correctly, there's a bit of a fight inside here.
Used to store in pure cheese.
And what happens is it spawns in
Growl at the skittering sound
some
of
rats on one side, dogs on the other, and they actually go at each other. Like, they will attack each other. And of course, you and anything else in the middle.
And there's absolutely nothing in here. It's just a nice, nice storage room of cheese. It's a lot of cheese. Alright, so heading down some more.
Sound can be heard
Now,
from the corridor above.
this is that boulder. Now, you can attack it, potentially kill the boulder. It does give you count for the kill. Or you can just simply run. It breaks itself off over here. Nothing special.
A soft buzzing sound can
Now,
be heard
this
as
one
you
here,
approach the door.
I love this trap. So this trap is a two-parter. As I said,
Swarm near
a
their
buzzing
hives.
sound. So
Surely
right on
this
the other
room
side
is
of
for
this door
making
here,
honey. You should be safe.
we have
unless-
essentially, well, like they said, jets of honey. Now, if the honey hits us, which I'm hoping it doesn't, okay, it hit us with the honey. So now what happens is we're sticky for 10 minutes. As you see, negative 70% movement speed, negative 20% attack, armor class penalty, reflex saves, like a lot of negatives. It doesn't actually hurt you. However, if we get near these bees, we'll get an upgrade to this honey, which will state bees, which I will grab here in a second. I just want to kill off the enemies first and go from there. So we can't really outrun them.
Charging battery.
So we are just gonna kind of stand here and take whatever they got to dish out. Apparently what they got to dish out is some stat damage. up. Alright, so now that they're dead, I'm actually going to go and get a stack of, well, bees. So as you approach, you get another one. It's called Not the Bees. As you see, damage over time. It's not a lot of damage, but it hits. As well, unable to concentrate or cast spells. So I can't cast any healing spells. I can't cast turret. I can't do nothing. Now the way to get rid of these is to actually just simply step into water. It washes off the honey and removes the bees as there's no more honey. Alright.
The door
Here,
rolls open.
we are now at the village.
Into the very walls of the cave.
So this section here, there is a fair amount of fighting. However, you can actually get up on the top ramparts, top of the buildings, which makes it so that a lot of like the melee, obviously they can't hit you. The range guys, they can still shoot you. They're ranged, like that's their job. So I'm just gonna get a quick top appeal to hireling. There we go. And we'll proceed in. So we climb the barrels here, hop up, and inside this kind of little hobgoblin village, there are 3 points.
Have built 3
So
defensive positions inside this massive
the
cavern.
3 points. So the outposts, kennels, and barracks. So the barracks is right off to the side there. Has some enemies, which as we're up top, they're not really going anywhere. Other than rain at us, they can actually climb up this one here, as you see them attempting to do so. However, there's still some guys over there. However, if we have enough jump, or are they coming around the corner?
Last of the outpost's defenders falls.
Yeah. So if they have enough jump, you can actually hop over to here. And this is one of the safest points in here, as they have no way other than heading up and jumping over, which obviously AI can't do, to get up here. So our next group is, well, there's our kennels. And then finally over in the corner there, which if you're up top, you can actually start shooting them. Dragging them over. This is our next, this will be the barracks. These guys are just gonna pile up the bottom here. Alright, so there's still somebody in there. And then for our kennels, all we gotta do is approach. It'll spawn in a whole bunch of, well, dogs that are kennels. And again, same thing, if you hop up, apparently our thing was too high. As you kill the one and only hobgoblin in here, that's it for the kennels. Like, the kennels are done.
The hobgoblins outside the
There's
barracks
the
have
last
been
of the
defeated.
barracks.
The natural cavern once again gives way to a
So
masonry
once you've
hole.
killed all of them, our door opens up. A little bit further in. Let's just take out these wolves. Wargs, rather. Alright. So yeah, we'll keep heading through. And we're out of a cavern and back into like an actual proper building. We have shrines. And more kobolds! Yay! Alright, I know I said it before. Almost there, guys. Alright. Yeah, these slave lord quests, again, really long. Not a lot of experience. Although, if we open up our favor rewards here. Wow, forgot to open that one up too yet. It's a little bit of lag. There we go. And we scroll down to slave lords. As you see, our first part, it gave us 15 favor, which is a fairly large amount, though we do see some 21, 18. Most quests, as you see, 12s. Some of these harder ones there. But even going further down, 9s, 6s, occasional 12. Like, most of them are right around the 9 and 12. So you're getting 15 favor, which is a decent amount of favor for these quests. As well, the loot is fairly nice, and you can craft some of your own loot. Like, it's worth it for the loot. But once you have it, I mean, other than favor, it's not worth it. So just run it at higher levels, grab the loot, don't worry about the XP in these quests. Alright, so through this door, we have like our third kind of mini-boss fight.
Creatures spring forward to protect her escape.
Alright, here. Alright, so once we kill this first wave of invaders, as we actually enter, they're going to open up these pens on the side here, sending these enemies, and as you can see, one of those enemies is actually an owlbear. On top of that, we also have the kobold overseer at the back, which we need to kill. He's gonna spawn him in here shortly as we approach. And of course our owlbear is champion, because why would it be? We're still So with the turret in the door, we were luckily able to clear that out. Here. Alright, off we go. Alright, here. So in this room, top of the stairs, back right corner, we have a lever. This will lower that barrier.
The portal barring your path fades when you pull this lever.
We also have two chests again. One random loot chest. And one more chest with some components in them. And as you can see, we're getting a lot of these 5 rings, but we don't actually need any further. And I'm seeing a slave somewhere over there. So we haven't actually got to that section. Alright, so through our door. More kobolds. Now, coming up here is about the only optional section that gives a few of these extra, like, crafting chests. As you see, everywhere else, it's right next to these normal ones that you go for. They're kind of right there. This next part coming up has a couple of them, which are choice. So the first one here is Blackthorn.
A gaunt creature stands
He
at the
has
end
one
of the hallway,
in a chest. Now you
looking
can
at
actually choose to
nervously.
passively talk to him and like let him go because he's wanting to flee. Like, I'll let you go peacefully. Or you can just say, hey, no, you're here with them. Let's fight. So if you do choose to leave him peacefully, he will leave peacefully and not fight you, not nothing. If you attack him, you get an optional to slay him. Now, like most typical ogres, once they get injured, they go completely invisible, kind of like transferring to a different plane. And when they come back, they are completely healed. So you kind of got to fight them twice. Though, luckily, you can only use that once. I think it's just on a long timer, because I have run into situations where they have used them twice. Doing this side path here, got a little damage here. Doing this side path will give you another rando chest, as well as another crafting chest here as well, crafting materials chest. Yeah, we got some frayed leathers, cool. That is the rare component that you can obtain in this quest. The other chest rooms here don't really have anything in them. I mean, feel free to open them up, check them out, but they're all... Oh. Okay, so I lied. They have some breakables.
Now I'm wanting to check the other ones. Yeah, so apparently it was just that one. All the others are completely empty, which might be why I just never went into that specific one. Alright. So now, we got some enemies. We should also have some coming from the side. Now, this is where, again, it can split up and you can have options to get more enemies and an actual named enemy to get another one of those crafting loot chests. Alright, so heal. As it kind of hurt a little bit. So through here, at the top here, we have slave hunters. And not all of them are at the top. Some of them are ground level. The ground level ones are going to run at you. The ones up top don't move. So, you know, take them at your own speed. Ones up top really don't hit hard either, so don't really need to worry. I usually just hop up and stand ground and just kill them. As you can see, I'm taking no damage. I do have some damage mitigation items and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, from these guys, they really just, they're not doing anything to me, which is why I do it. Obviously, without the gear and, you know, the past lives, they do hit a little bit. Not superly hard to, like, oh no, I can't make it through, but just watch yourself. So in here, bunch of levers to pull. They're all on the back wall, the southernmost wall, and each one will open up its, like, row. So we got one in here for these cells. Finally, one over there. Now, we also have 2 doors here, 3 doors here.
You
so,
open the last door.
Now that we've opened them all,
emerge from their cells and
first door here, got a collectible. I was pretty sure that there was some. Second door, we have shrines. So if you need a shrine, here's some none and another collectible. Finally, we have this one here. This one doesn't actually go anywhere. It leads into with 2 cavelings, so flesh golems. As you approach, you can talk to them. And basically, only cavelings can enter. Go on your way. Don't tarry where you're not wanted. So you can ask them some questions, basically saying, and this is what I don't like, where it says, be on your way. There's nothing more you can do for us unless it's to tell us Marquesa is dead at last. So you can say, Marquesa was already on my list. Now she's shot to the top of it. Good luck to you. You know, if you complete the quest and come back here, it doesn't give you any additional dialogue, which kind of sucks. Alright, so from here, only one way to go, and that's continue heading east. Through our door, we got another trap right here. Let's see if we can't. Doesn't look like that jet's actually hit though. But, I mean, we can find out. Yeah, not a bit of damage from the trap. Alright. There we are. So at this point, we do have 2 paths that we can take. We can continue heading straight and make a left there, or we can head
south. Now we do need to head south to continue the quest. If we go this path, again, optional, through this door there's going to be a named optional kobold.
Before you stands Juliet.
Red name, so unfortunately a lot of our effects don't work. But, you know, damages always works.
Juliet curses you as she falls
Once
to
he's
the
dead,
ground.
again, rando loot chest, and here's that other optional chest here. Ooh, more freight leathers. I will take that. And then we'll head south. Just give me some top up. So at this point, all that's really left is our pre-end fight and then the end fight. So our pre-end fight is just through this door here. It's nothing special.
Marquesa awaits your arrival
It does state to
inside this
defeat
well-appointed
Marquesa.
room.
As we're fighting her. Don't want that champion lightning to hit me though.
Marquesa's double is dead. No longer enthralled
So
to
once
the
you kill her, as you
masters
see,
who remade her
not
in
even the
her
real
own image.
one.
Now to find the real Marquesa.
So this is where it gives you that option. So first off, I'm gonna loot this chest. So killing her again, another collectible chest or crafting chest, and then another random loot. So we can either choose to pull the lever here, which will open up this door. And I'm gonna proceed down this hall a little bit, just to show you guys.
Before you stands a
Has another
powerful
Minotaur Warden.
ready to defend
So another
Marquesa till
another
its
kind of
dying
boss kind of guy. Honestly, with Minotaurs, they're not that hard to fight. We got ourselves a rem chest. And he has a rando loot chest. And then we can proceed through here. Some more enemies. So once you take out them, so as you can see, a lot of enemies. We do have some more breakables. But then finally we come to the room. So I'm not going to go through that door yet. I'm going to backtrack just to show you guys that other path here. So in this room, the bookshelf here right behind the bed is a hidden door. Slide that out. Now we got some breakables here. We can head on through this door. And basically it gives you a secret path all the way to the end, and it gives you a second secret door. So you don't have to fight the Minotaur, that second group of wave of enemies. It just pops you right here. So we're going to just enter from here because we're here.
Marquesa, the slave
And there it is. So we got a few enemies.
Some kind of object is encased in a
Again, I
magical field
focus on
behind
trash before anyone else. Boy, she got taken out quick. Angry kobold. Alright. That should be it. Yep, there we go. So now that we get the trash, all that's left is to take her out. Once she dies, near the altar there, it's going to spawn in our loot.
Marquesa is dead, and her followers
Oh,
routed.
on the other side there.
Now to search for clues.
As well as it spawns in a map. Now, I don't know if they've actually fixed this issue, But when I was first playing through here, like I said, the cavelings, they don't have any additional dialogue. That's because I had actually come through, killed off Marquesa, and then went back to them basically to let them know, hey, yeah, I killed them, because one of their dialogue options was, unless you come to let us know she's dead, we don't want you here. So I was like, hey, maybe there's another option on that path. There wasn't. However, once I left this room after killing, her, hang on, I'm gonna port hireling there so it stops teleporting to me. Unless I just glitched her. So unless you pick up the map first, it might actually despawn, which really does suck. So once you pick up the map as well, it does end the quest, so we're going to grab that there. Awesome. 42,000, again, 75 minutes,
Surely this must be
an
the
hour and
slave
15
lord's
minutes,
main
like
base.
it's totally not worth it for the amount of experience you get. Again, at the end, 2 end chests, so we got one here. The one on the right, again, rando loot chest, but our actual end chest here can contain name loot, as well as more crafting, so I'm going to do some re-rolling here. 5 rings, well, we can get those anywhere. Nothing special, and another 5 rings. Though we did get 30 chain links, so, I mean, not a complete loss. Alright, well, all that's left here is to head through our door to the east, and it'll lead to, you know, the third part. Again, if you're wanting to go that way, I'm just going to return back to the Grove, and we'll leave this video off here, and, you know, pick up on the next video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one, all.